Hello, Samas! Because it was frequently asked, I show you a really elegant way to fix your Saitek rudder pedals when the foot brakes are loose. Obviously the left one is broken, the right one is already fixed. You will need a screwdriver, a tongue, maybe another pair of helping hand, and this spring retainer, because that's the part you have to replace. The original ones are made out of plastic. The spare part is a CNC mold, high strength 5mm aircraft aluminum. You can order these parts on eBay, you will find the link in the description. The first step is to remove the upper foot plate by pushing the button for size adjustment. Pull the plate fully up and put it aside. You will find 6 screws. Screw them off. To make it a little easier, I'm going to use a powered screwdriver. But be very careful with it. It's only plastic you're working in, so you easily can screw over. Pull the plate towards you and lift it up. You will get access to the pots, the wiring and the mechanic for the brake. And you will find a loose spring and some broken plastic from the old spring retainer. You have to unscrew all 8 screws, but first of all the inner ones. When you're finished with the first 4 screws, you can lift the assembly, but be really careful not to damage the electric wire. Now remove the last screws and disassemble the axle with the spring retainer. As you see, an important part of that retainer is missing. That's the way it should look like, but it's just a matter of time and the second retainer will look the same because of the high stress the spring is forcing to the part. The plastic will break for sure when it gets old and brittle. Not so with the aluminum ones. Remove the axle and put it on the new retainer. Push the upper gear of the pods out of the way and assemble the retainer axle unit. Fix the axle with the 4 outer screws. Now it's time for a really important step. You have to combine the gear from the pods with the retainer in that way that the first 2 of the pod gears fits into the first gap of the retainer. You have to calibrate your pedals anyway when you're finished, but if you are not accurate at that point, you will not have the full range of movement. Before you assemble the unit, install the spring at the retainer. Now fix the unit with the inner 4 screws. But be careful not to pinch the electric wire. Mostly of the work is done. Time for the hardest part. I recommend to ask for some help to hold the pedals while pulling the spring with the tongue over the pin. It's quite tough to force the spring into its place. don't hurt yourself. It took me several attempts, and it nearly broke my camera. Ouch. But at the end, the spring was in place. Double check the correct fitting of the gears, otherwise you will get strange behaviors while calibrating the pedals. The rest is easy. Put the lower footplate into place and push it up. Fix the 6 screws. And reinstall the upper footplate. Now you're ready for departure. Enjoy taxiing with working brakes and always happy landings.